I woke up in my sister's body on the morning of her wedding, her silk robe clinging to skin that wasn't mine. And the first thing I did was smash her phone against the marble vanity, because if I was trapped in this nightmare,
So was she.
the betrayal hit harder than the hangover from last night's champagne toasts. Mom and Dad had maxed out my credit card for that $10,000 venue deposit without a whisper of permission. Then pinned the bill on me like I was the ungrateful black sheep who'd finally snapped. But the real gut punch? I'd been covering for Emily's lies since we were kids, her shoplifting sprees, her hit and run that I confessed to at 16, and now, staring into her flawless blue eyes in the mirror, I realized revenge wasn't just a fantasy, it was my new reality. Body swapped by whatever cosmic fuckery had answered my midnight curse. The mirror in the bridal suite of the Grand Meridian Hotel in downtown Chicago lied to me every time I blinked. Those weren't my hazel eyes staring back, wide, panicked, and framed by lashes Emily paid a small fortune for.
No.
They were hers, cool and calculating, the kind that could charm a room full of strangers into funding her whims. My hands, her hands, trembled as I gripped the edge of the vanity, the diamond engagement ring catching the soft glow of the vanity lights like a taunt. It was 7:45 a.m. on what was supposed to be her perfect day, and I was the one in the gown fittings, the makeup trials, the endless parade of yes, dear, to her bridal party's simpering demands. How the hell did this happen? Last night, after the rehearsal dinner, where Mom had pulled me aside, me, Lucy, the reliable one, the fixer, and whispered that I needed to step up and cover the venue overage because family sticks together, I'd driven home to my cramped studio apartment on the south side, rage boiling in my veins. The bill had arrived that afternoon, $12,347.62, including taxes and gratuities, all charged to the Amex I'd scrimped to build a credit score on after years of dead-end jobs. Emily's wedding. Emily's dream. Emily's life. Always handed to her on a silver platter while I scraped by on freelance graphic design gigs that barely covered rent. I'd collapsed onto my thrift store couch, a bottle of cheap bourbon in hand, and screamed into the void. I wish I could make her feel this. Just once. Swap places and watch her burn. Stupid, desperate words, fueled by the kind of resentment that festers in American families like ours, working-class Irish Catholics from the suburbs, where appearances trump everything. And the golden child gets the crown while the other daughter gets the scraps. Then, blackness. A dream? A hallucination? Whatever it was. It ended with me jerking awake in a king-sized bed that smelled like lavender and entitlement, sheets tangled around legs longer and smoother than mine. Emily's penthouse condo overlooking Lake Michigan. Her walk-in closet bursting with labels I could never afford. And when I stumbled to the bathroom, flipping on the light, not me. Her. Panic clawed at my throat as I rummaged through her phone, unlocked, because of course she trusted no one would dare snoop. Text from Mom. Sweetie, Lucy's being difficult again. Just tell her it's for you. From Dad. Handle it like we discussed. Guilt works every time. From her fiancé. Chad. God. Even his name screamed privilege. Babe. Venue looks killer. Can't wait to make it official. No mention of the swap. No frantic calls from my own body, which I assumed was now stumbling around my apartment, freaking out in my 5'4" frame with its freckles and calluses from hauling design boards. I had to think fast. The ceremony was at noon. Guests, 200 of them, including Chad's hedge fund buddies and our extended family from Naperville, were already en route. If I bailed, it'd be a scandal. If I played along,
Well,
That's when the dark thoughts slithered in. Revenge. Real, visceral revenge. Not the petty Reddit post I drafted in my head last night, but something that would unravel her perfect little world thread by thread. I slipped into her robe and padded to the floor-to-ceiling windows. Chicago's skyline a gray smudge under a drizzling sky. The city that never sleeps, they say, but it sure as hell chews up dreamers like me. I'd moved here after community college, chasing the American dream Mom always preached, hustle hard, make it big. Instead, I got student loans, gig economy burnout, and a family that treated me like the safety net for their favorites' follies. Emily and I were Irish twins, born 11 months apart, but worlds away in every other way. She was the prom queen, the sorority star at Northwestern, the one who landed Chad after a summer internship at his dad's firm. I was the quiet one, the artist who sketched logos for local startups while she networked her way to influencer status on Instagram, hawking wedding dresses and life advice to her 50K followers. But the real secret? The one that bound us in blood and lies? It started when we were 15. Emily, high on stolen Xanax from Dad's medicine cabinet, had wrapped Dad's Chevy around a tree on a back road in DuPage County. No one hurt but her pride, and the car totaled. But there was a witness, old Mr. Hargrove, walking his dog. He saw her behind the wheel, sloppy and scared.
cops came.
Insurance nightmare.
Dad,
Panicking about his clean record for work, begged me to say it was me practicing with his permission. I was the responsible one, after all. I lied to the police, took the underage driving ticket, the community service at the animal shelter. Emily promised she'd make it up to me. You're my hero. Luce, she sobbed into my shoulder that night. She never did. Instead, more lies piled on, the shoplifted Coach bag she found, the forged rec letters for her college apps that I signed off on, the affair with her TA that I covered by ollie-ing her during study sessions. And now this, the wedding venue. A glittering ballroom at the Meridian. Booked on my card because Emily forgot hers and Mom thought it was easier to use mine since I don't spend on anything frivolous anyway. I smashed the phone then, the screen spiderwebbing like my sanity. Shards glittered on the carpet as I laughed, a hollow, an Emily's sound that echoed off the walls. If she was in my body, she'd be clawing at my cheap locks, dialing 911, screaming about possession or psychosis.
good.
Let her feel small for once. By 8:30, the bridal party arrived, her college roommates, all Botox and Birkins, chattering about mimosas and last-minute alterations. I forced Emily's smile, the one that dimpled just so, and greeted them with hugs that felt like betrayal. You look radiant, M1 gushed. Radiant? Yeah, if you ignored the storm brewing behind my borrowed eyes. We moved to the suite's lounge for hair and makeup, the air thick with aerosol and anxiety. I sat still as the stylist teased her, blonde waves into an updo. My mind racing. Step 1. Delay the inevitable. I accidentally knocked over a champagne flute, sending it shattering across the tile. Oh God. I'm so clumsy today, I trilled in her voice, higher and breathier than mine. They cooed sympathies, but it bought me 10 minutes of cleanup chaos. During a lull, I slipped into the bathroom, locking the door. Emily's laptop sat on the counter, open to her wedding Pinterest board. I minimized it, pulling up her email instead. Password, Chatham forever. Pathetic. Inboxes overflowed with vendor confirmations. But buried in the archive folder?
Gold.
An email chain from 6 months back. Subject: Venue deposit, quiet fix. Mom to Emily: Use Lucy's card. She's good for it. We'll square up after the honeymoon. Emily's reply: LOL. Yeah. She's such a pushover. Remember the car thing? Works every time. Attached: a screenshot of my credit statement. Marked up with her doodles, hearts around the balance. My stomach twisted. Not just betrayal, weaponized. They'd done this before. Smaller hits: $500 for her spring break flight, $2,000 for that emergency Birkin she needed for job interviews. I'd chalked it up to family oversight, paid it off with overtime shifts at the print shop. But this was scorched earth. I forwarded the chain to my own email, thank God for Cloud Sync, then deleted the sent folder. Evidence. Leverage. As the door rattled with impatient knocks, I flushed the toilet for cover and emerged. All apologies and Emily-esque charm. The morning blurred into a haze of lace and laughter that grated like nails on chalkboard. By 10:45, I was in the gown, a $15,000 Vera Wang number that hugged curves I'd never known, the bodice embroidered with pearls that felt like chains. The photographer arrived. A wiry guy named Trent with a man bun and a Nikon that clicked like gunfire. First look with the girls, he announced, herding us onto the balcony, overlooking the magnificent Mile. Wind whipped my veil as I posed, arm in arm with the bridesmaids. But inside, I was plotting. Chad would arrive soon for the private first look.
Perfect.
He'd expect his poised, perfect fiancé. I'd give him something else, truth serum in human form. When he stepped out of the elevator at 11:15, all 6'2" of Ivy League polish in a custom Tom Ford tux, my heart, her heart, skipped. Not from love, but loathing. Chad Whitaker III, heir to Whitaker Capital, the firm that foreclosed on half the factories in the Rust Belt while preaching ethical investing. He'd swept Emily off her feet at a gala, proposed on a yacht in the Caribbean.
To me,
he was just another suit who'd overlook the help. He breathed, eyes lighting up as he crossed the suite. I turned, veil lifted just enough to tease, and met his gaze. Chad, I said, voice steady. We need to talk. His brow furrowed, but he pulled me into the adjoining sitting room, away from prying eyes. What's up? You okay? You seem
off.
Understatement of the century. I closed the door, leaning against it. Do you know how that venue got booked? He blinked. Thrown. Your folks handled it. Something about a promo code. I laughed sharp. On Emily. Try my credit card. 10 grand down. 12 total. And when the bill hit, they blamed me for not checking my statements. Said it's my duty as the sister. Chad's face paled. Wait.
What? Ain't.
Why didn't you? Because she didn't want you knowing how deep the dysfunction runs. I cut in, stepping closer. Her perfume, Chanel No. 5, wafting like a weapon. Our family's built on lies.
Chad.
Like the time she totaled Dad's car drunk, and I took the fall. Community service, ruined record. Or the shoplifts she pawned off as misunderstandings. I'm the scapegoat. Always have been. He stared, jaw slack. Lucy? Is that? Holy shit. What the fuck is going on? Bingo. He wasn't as dumb as he looked. Body swap, I whispered. glancing at the door.
Don't ask how. But yeah,
It's me. And if we don't fix this now, before vows, it'll destroy us all. He raked a hand through his hair, pacing the Persian rug. This is insane. Like, Freaky Friday on steroids. But the emails? I saw some drafts on her laptop once. Thought it was stress talking. Stress? I snorted. It's manipulation. And today's the day it ends. We had 20 minutes until the limo to the chapel. Chad pulled out his phone, dialing his lawyer, a shark named Harlan who'd once bankrupted a rival firm over a parking dispute. Harlan, it's Chad. Emergency wire. $15,000 to Lucy O'Malley's Amex. Yes.
now.
And pull her credit report, flag any joint accesses from the last year. As he spoke, I felt a thrill, dark, electric. This was just the opener. The real revenge? Watching Emily, in my body, unravel at the altar. She'd show up late, disheveled, my ratty jeans and hoodie no match for the spotlight. Guests would whisper. Mom would fume. Dad would bluster about family unity. But I wasn't done. Not by a long shot. The limo ride to St. Michael's Cathedral was a funeral procession in disguise, black Escalade crawling through loop traffic, bridesmaids tipsy on rows, chattering about honeymoons in Tuscany. I sat shotgun, veil down, Emily's manicure digging into my palms. Chad, in the back, shot me glances that mixed horror and heat. We'll figure this out, he mouthed when the others weren't looking. Figure it out.
Right.
Because nothing says happily ever after like spousal possession. The cathedral loomed like a stone sentinel on Wabash Avenue, its spires piercing the overcast sky. Organ music swelled as we piled out, the air crisp with November chill. Wait.
November?
Emily's wedding was in June.
No.
Today was her day. But in my rage-fueled blur, season smeared. Chicago didn't care. It just ground on, indifferent to personal apocalypses. Inside, the nave buzzed with anticipation. Pews filled with aunts in Chanel tweed, uncles nursing flasks, cousins scrolling TikTok under hymnals. Mom, in a teal mother of the bride sheath, fussed over the florals, white lilies that mocked purity.
Dad,
Paunchier than I remembered, adjusted his clip-on tie, muttering about stock dips. And there, in the vestibule shadows,
was me.
my body, slouched against a pillar, eyes wild under my choppy bob. Emily's soul puppeteering my frame, her designer poise reduced to fidgety horror. She spotted me, us, and lunged. Voice a strangled whisper. What the fuck did you do? Lucy. I grab her arm, my arm, nails biting into flesh.
Me?
This is karma.
Iminência.
For the car. The lies. The goddamn credit card. Her, my eyes narrowed. That familiar calculating glint. You think this changes anything? Chad's mine. The life's mine. You'll always be the loser, sister. Before I could retort, Mom swept in, all smiles and perfume. Girls. Positions. Emily. Honey. You look peaked, rough night. Emily and me forced a grin. Just nerves.
Mom.
Lucy's being helpful. Mom's gaze flicked to me, approving. That's my girl. Always stepping up, stepping up. The words ignited something feral. As the bridal march pealed, I took my place at the aisle's head, Bouquet trembling. Emily shuffled behind in my sneakers. The mismatch comical if it weren't so cruel. Chad waited at the altar. Statuesque. But his eyes locked on mine with a promise. We're in this. Vows exchanged in a drone love.
Honor.
Cherish. Each word a lie wrapped in silk. When the priest said, "You may kiss the bride," Chad leaned in, lips brushing mine, hers, with a hesitation that spoke volumes. The crowd erupted, but I tasted salt, my tears, or hers. Reception back at the Meridian was a glittering farce. Toasts sloshed with Fuve. The DJ spinning Ed Sheeran remixes that made my teeth ache. I danced with Chad, his hands on my waist possessive yet probing, whispering. Harlan confirmed the wire. And the report, your parents have been routing charges through joint accounts you didn't know about. We're freezing them.
We.
As if this body-swapped hell made us partners in crime. But the power surged, real power. The kind Emily wielded without earning. I excused myself mid-waltz, slipping to the ladies' lounge. There, in a stall, I pulled up her phone, retrieved from the bridal suite chaos, and posted to her Insta story, a selfie in the gown. Caption, when family borrows without asking. Wedding woes, credit card karma. Hashtag it up. Make it viral. Her followers would eat it alive. By the cake cutting, 5 tiers of fondant decadence, comments flooded. Wait, your sis stole your CC? Spill. That's messed up.
Girl.
Toxic family. Emily, across the room in my body, saw the glow of notifications on a borrowed phone and paled.
Good.
But as the night wore on, doubts crept. Was this revenge or self-destruction? Mom cornered me by the bar, martini in hand. Emily, darling, Lucy's acting strange. Kept ranting about old bills. Make her apologize before she ruins everything.
Ruin.
The word hung like smoke. I clinked glasses with her.
Smiling. Oh.
She will.
Mom.
Trust me. The after-party haze settled over the Meridian's rooftop lounge like a bad decision. Smoke machines pumping fog that mimicked my fogged brain. Bass thumping from hidden speakers. And a crowd of trust fund millennials grinding to Travis Scott tracks that blurred the line between celebration and escape. I was 3 flutes of champagne deep, Emily's tolerance higher than mine. Thank God, and leaning against the railing. Chicago's lights sprawling below like a circuit board of broken promises. Chad's arms snaked around my waist, his breath warm on my neck. You okay in there? He murmured, voice low enough to dodge the bridesmaids' giggles nearby. In there. As if I were a tenant in his fiancée's flesh. Peachy, I replied, turning to face him. Up close. His cologne, something woody and expensive, mixed with a night's sweat. And for a split second, I saw why Emily fell. The jawline sharp as a boardroom deal. Eyes that promised stability in a city that devoured the unsteady. But stability built on what?
Lies.
Like the ones his family peddled in glass towers on LaSalle Street. We'd snuck up here after the bouquet toss, me hurling the damn thing at Emily in my body with pinpoint accuracy. Watching her fumble it into a punch bowl to scattered laughs.
Now.
With the bulk of guests nursing hangovers downstairs, it was time for Phase 2, extraction. Harlan's on his way, Chad said, checking his Rolex. Discreet entrance. We'll get you, her, scanned at his office.
The Mariah?
Psych eval. Whatever it takes to prove this isn't drugs or delusion.
Prove.
As if science could unravel the supernatural gut punch that swapped us. I'd spent the reception Googling body swap real cases on Emily's phone. Nothing but Freaky Friday fanfic and quantum woo-woo forums. But Harlan? He was old money muscle. The kind that made problems vanish like bad press. If anyone could buy answers, it was him. Footsteps crunched gravel behind us. Emily. Storming the rooftop in my scuffed Converse. Face twisted in miniature fury. "You bitch," she hissed, jabbing a finger at my chest, her chest. "That post? My brand's tanking. Sponsors pulling out. What the hell is wrong with you?" Chad tensed, but I waved him off, stepping forward. In her heels, I towered over my own frame, a reversal that felt like poetic justice. "Wrong with me? Try the lifetime of your fuck-ups on my tab."
Eminencia.
The car crash I confessed to? The shoplift at Nordstrom, where I played lookout?
Oh.
And let's not forget the anonymous tip to Chad's ex that killed their engagement. You're doing
Right?
to clear the path. Her eyes, my eyes, flashed recognition. Then denial. That was ages ago. And you agreed. You're the one who agreed. I laughed, the sound echoing off the glass partitions. I was 15, terrified of Dad's belt. You were the one who said it'd bond us forever. Sisters against the world. Bitter irony laced every word. The kind that simmers in Midwestern family lore, stoic facades hiding rot. Chad intervened, voice smooth as a deposition. "Emily, Lucy. Whoever, this ends now. We're getting medical help. Both of you." She whirled on him, my freckled cheeks flushing. "Help? This is assault. She's ruining my life." Tears welled, crocodile style. But I saw the calculation. Play the victim. Always. Before I could snap back, the elevator dinged. Harlan emerged, silver fox in a Brioni suit, briefcase in hand like a loaded gun. "Mr. Whitaker." "Ladies." His gaze swept us. "Clinical." Cars waiting. Private clinic on Michigan Avenue. No records. The drive was a silent siege, me sandwiched between Chad and Emily in the Maybach's leather womb. City lights streaking past like accusations. She sulked, arms crossed over my faded band tee. I stared at my hands, her hands, nails chipped now from the night's gripes. Chad's thigh pressed against mine. A anchor or a chain. Hard to tell in this borrowed skin. The clinic was a nondescript brownstone. Facade screaming discreet executive health. Inside, sterile whites and beeping monitors awaited. Harlan's friend, a neuro named Dr. Voss, with a German accent and zero bedside manner, ran the gamut. Blood draws, IGs, even a quick fMRI that had me in a tube listening to words like a coffin nail. Emily went first, ranting about demonic possession until Voss sedated her lightly for the scan. Results?
Nada.
Brains looked nominal, vitals stable. Psychosomatic delusion, Voss pronounced,
Packing his tablet.
or shared hysteria. Recommend therapy. And a priest. If you're inclined. Chad paid in cash, 20 large. Easy as breathing, and we piled back into the car. Defeat heavy as the rain starting to patter windshields. "This can't be it," I muttered, voice cracking. Emily, groggy beside me,
Smirked.
"Told you. You're stuck.
Luce.
Deal with it."
Stuck.
The word ignited the next layer of my plan. Born in the MRI's hum. If science failed, sorcery or whatever sparked this might reverse it. But first, dismantle her empire from within. Back at the penthouse by 3 a.m., Chad poured scotch in the kitchen while Emily crashed on the guest bed, my bed. Ironically, I paced the living room, skyline mocking me through rain-streaked glass. "We need dirt," I told him, sinking onto the sectional. "Real dirt. Not just the credit shit." He nodded. Laptop open. Accessing her accounts now. Shared passwords. Perks of trust. Folders bloomed. Financials. First. Beyond the venue scam. A pattern. Transfers from a family slush fund Dad managed, siphoned from his consulting gig at a city contractor. Emily's cut. Monthly allowances for influencing, funneled through offshore apps. Tax evasion? Maybe. Embezzlement? If Dad's firm was crooked. Then, emails. One from 6 months ago. To a PR firm. Bury the Hargrove story. He saw too much. Hargrove, the hit-and-run witness.
Dead now.
Heart attack last year. Emily's reply, handled. Lucy's old confession holds. Ice in my veins. She'd silenced him? For what? Protecting her secret. Chad's face darkened. Jesus. This is felony territory. Harassment. At least. Witness tampering. I swallowed. And I covered the original crash. If this blows. It won't touch you, he said.
Fierce.
You're the victim here. Victim. The label chafed, but his hand on mine soft, manicured, grounded. For the first time, I wondered if this swap wasn't curse, but key. To freedom. To him, dawn crept, gray and unforgiving. Emily emerged, rumpled in my pajamas, demanding coffee. So, what's the play? Golden girl, she sneered, pouring K-cup sludge. I met her gaze. Unflinching. Divorce papers. And a press release. Influencer Emily O'Malley duped by family fraud. Sister speaks out. Her mug shattered on the tile. You wouldn't. Try me. The standoff shattered when Chad's phone buzzed. Harlan. Anomaly in the scans. Quantum echo or some bullshit. Experimental reversal trial at Argonne Lab. Off books. Tomorrow. Hope flickered. Fragile. But as Emily lunged, fists flying in my face, I blocked, her lithe body stronger than expected, and pinned her. This ends when I say,
Eminencia.
Not you. She spat. You'll regret this. Family's all you have. Family. The lie that chained us. As sirens wailed distant below, I realized revenge wasn't destruction. It was rebirth. The next day blurred into logistics, Chad calling in favors. Me raiding Emily's closet for Lucy-appropriate armor, jeans,
Blouse.
boots that actually fit my soul, if not my skin. Argonne National Lab, 30 miles west in the flatlands, was a fortress of fences and fords, government spooks in polo shirts eyeing our arrival like we were lab rats. Harlan greased palms with whispers of Whitaker donations. We were ushered to a sub-basement, air humming with particle accelerators.
DR.
Elena Ruiz, lead physicist, tattooed under her lab coat, briefed us in a conference room that smelled of stale coffee and chalk dust. This swap, if real, mimics entanglement experiments. Minds as particles, bodies as states. Reversal requires synchronization, shared trauma, or echo event.
Trauma.
My mind flashed to the crash site, twisted metal. Emily's sobs. My lie to cops. Like reliving the origin? She nodded.
Grim.
Risky. Neural overload possible. But viable. Emily balked. Hell no. I'm not your guinea pig. Then stay swapped, I shot back. Live my life, Bills. Loneliness. The grind. She relented, eyes darting to Chad. Jealousy? Or fear of losing her perch? The chamber was a sci-fi nightmare. Recliners facing mirrors. IVs dripping sedatives. Monitors beeping like heartbeats. Strapped in. We locked eyes. Hers pleading. Mine steel. Ruiz initiated. Lights dim. Tones pulsing. A projected hologram of the crash replaying. Tires screeching. Tree splintering. No blood. Just shadow and scream. Pain lanced. Memories colliding. Mine and hers. Her guilt. Buried deep. My resentment. Volcanic. Then, twist, a flash not of the wreck. But after. Dad in the garage. Handing Emily cash. Make it worth it.
Kid.
Lucy's sacrifice buys us all a future.
Us.
The family business, Dad's firm.
Bidding on city contracts.
Greased by Emily's connections post-crash. My confession? Cover for their kickbacks. The hit and run? Distraction from audits. Betrayal squared. I screamed as the sink peaked, bodies arching. Light imploded. When it cleared, I gasped, back in my skin, freckles and all, slumped in the chair. Emily blinked across. Blonde locks disheveled, gown from yesterday rumpled.
It
worked. Ruiz unstrapped us. Echo resolved. Vitals stable. Chad rushed me, hugging fierce. Lucy.
God. You're you.
But Emily's face crumpled, not relief, but reckoning.
Dad.
He used it. All of it. We drove back in silence. The lab shrinking in rear view. Chicago welcomed us with horns and hustle. But the city felt changed, sharper edges, truer colors. That night, at my apartment, now truly mine, Chad stayed. We ordered deep dish from Lou Malnati's. Grease and cheese a bomb. What now? He asked, passing a slice. Exposure, I said.
Simple.
All of it. Starting with Mom and Dad. He nodded. Harlan's drafting. Whistleblower protections.
And.
Emily, forgiveness?
Hell no.
But justice. Maybe. As rain tapped windows, I leaned into him. First real touch in days. Revenge tasted like victory and vulnerability. Word count, 1008. File 3. The whistleblower's life isn't glamorous. It's manila folders in coffee-stained kitchens. Anonymous tips to journalists who ghost you. And the constant itch that your phone's tapped. 2 weeks post-swap. And my South Side walk-up had become command central. Laptop glowing with FOIA requests. Printer wheezing out bank statements. Chad's takeout containers piling like evidence markers. Emily had holed up in the penthouse. Recovering, but really plotting, her Insta gone dark. Replaced by cryptic stories of inner work that screamed damage control. I'd filed the complaint that Monday. Harlan's team turning our discoveries into a 50-page dossier. Dad's firm. O'Malley Consulting. Inflating bids on Chicago Public School renos. Kickbacks laundered through Emily's sponsorships. The crash? Time to derail an auditor's probe. My confession a red herring that kept eyes off the books. Hargrove's heart attack. Poisoned pen letter from an untraceable account. Emily's fingerprints all over the prose. Conspiracy's a stretch, Harlan warned over Zoom. Cigar smoke curling on screen. But fraud? Ironclad. Feds'll bite if we leak to ProPublica. Leak we did. By Wednesday, my inbox, once barren save for gig rejections, exploded. Reporters from the Tribune, Sun-Times, even a podcast sniffing Midwest Mafia vibes. I gave the sit-down to Maria Lopez, a Sun-Times investigative vet with a no-bullshit bob and scars from covering Rom's scandals. Over Zoom from a diner booth. Styrofoam coffee in frame. I spilled. The swap, framed as vivid nightmare to dodge psych ward vibes. The credit card heist. The crash cover-up. It's not just money, I told her. Voice steady. It's a lifetime of being the fall guy. Her piece dropped Friday. Sisters swap. How one Chicago wedding unveiled a family fraud empire. Front page. Above the fold. Emily's face, tear-streaked glam shot, beside mine. The reliable one. Clicks surged. Twitter, X. Whatever, lit up with O'Malley scam. Memes of swap sisters in wedding gowns clashing like WWE divas. Mom called at dawn. Voice shrill through my cracked iPhone. Lucy Marie O'Malley. What have you done? Your father's heart. Save it. Mom. I cut in, cradling coffee on my fire escape. Pigeons cooing below. The venue was the tip. The iceberg's your husband's slush fund. Silence. Then sobs. We did it for you girls.
College.
Security. Emily got Northwestern on forged apps. I got loans and lies.
Click. Blocked.
Dad's approach was bluster, showing up at my door by noon. Paunch, straining his polo. Face red as a bear's tailgate. Open up.
Luce.
We talk family. I buzzed him in. Door ajar. Chad lurking in the kitchen with a baseball bat. Precaution. Not paranoia. Dad barreled in, reeking of Old Spice and desperation. This witch hunt, it's killing us. Firm's audits. Emily's deals tanking. You owe us. Oh. I laughed. Arms crossed. Chad stepped forward. 6'2" shield. Like the $12,000 on her card? Or the crash I ate for your bribes? His eyes darted, guilty flicker. That was protection. For all of us. Us, Chad echoed. Voice ice. Meaning you and Emily.
Right?
Lucy was collateral. Dad deflated, sinking onto my sagging couch. It started small. School contract, easy money. Crash happened. Perfect storm. Your confession. Bought time.
Time.
For what? A lake house in Michigan. Emily's trust fund. Mom's charity galas. My community service? While they toasted at Ruth's Chris. You're done, Dad. Feds have the docs. He stood, trembling. You'll regret this. Blood's thicker. Than water? Or thieves? Door slam punctuated. He left muttering curses, but the hook was set. Emily arrived that evening, unannounced. In yoga pants and a hoodie my style. Ironically. Chad let her in, tension thick as fog. She looked smaller without the glam, eyes puffy from whatever retreat she'd faked.
Luce. Can we talk?
Alone. Chad glanced at me. I nodded. He stepped out for groceries, leaving us in the living room's dim. Emily perched on the armchair, knees drawn. I didn't know about Hargrove. Not really. Dad handled it. Liar, I said, soft but steel. Your email said handled. She winced. I was scared. Of losing everything.
Chad.
The life. Life you stole. Piece by piece. Silence stretched, broken only by traffic hum. Then, controversial curve. What if we split it? Leak partial, save dad jail. I get the penthouse equity. You keep the followers. Temptation flickered, easy out. Family intactish.
But no.
That's your play.
Eminência.
Not mine. This ends clean. Her face hardened. The old mask. Then you're no better. Destroying us all for spite.
Spite?
Or justice. As she stormed out, I questioned. Was revenge poisoning me? Chad returned with Ty. Arms full. Kiss on my cheek grounding. You good. For now. We ate cross-legged on the floor. Spring rolls and pad thai, a makeshift picnic. But the climax. It's coming. It hit Monday. FBI raid on Dad's office in Oak Brook. Black SUVs swarming like ants on sugar. News choppers buzzed overhead. I watched from my laptop. Heart pounding. Emily texted, frantic. They're taking everything. Help. No reply. Instead, I met Chad at his Loop Pide Terra, a sleek high-rise with views that humbled. Harlan says plea deals in play. Dad flips on partners. Emily testifies immunity. Immunity. The word soured. She skates. Unless you push assault charges. For the swap fight. His fingers trace my arm. Gentle. Your call. Controversial decision loomed. Mercy or hammer. That night. Tangled in his sheets silk. Foreign. I dreamed of the crash again. But reversed, me driving. Free. Emily in passenger seat. Pleading. Boke sweating. Chad snores steady beside. By week's end, indictments dropped. Dad on wire fraud. Emily on accessory. Mom? Lesser counts. Community service. Ironies wink. Protests erupted. Free the O'Connors trending. MAGA types decrying deep state family bust. Emily's fans split. Half cancelled. Half she's a victim too. I ignored it. Focusing on rebuild. Credit repaired via Chad's wires loans. Not gifts, I insisted. Gigs rolling in from a story's buzz. A book deal pitched. Swapped secrets. A sister's reckoning. Tempting. But tainted. Then. The call. Emily. From Cook County lockup. Pre-arraignment.
Luce. Please.
Visit. Against gut. I went. Visitation room was bleach and buzzers. Her orange jumpsuit clashing with bleach blonde roots. What do you want? I asked. Glass between. Forgiveness? Or truth?
She leaned in.
The swap. I wished it too. That night. After the bill. Make her pay. Mirror in the bathroom. Bourbon your brand. Mirror image.
Us.
Entangled deeper than blood. So, we're both monsters? Maybe. Tears tracked. But save me. For old times. Old times. Forts in the basement. Secrets shared. Betrayal's root. But also love's. I stood. Write your book. Own it.
Outside.
Rain slicked streets. Chad waited in the Audi. Done. Not yet. Drive home, his place now ours was quiet. But as we crossed the river, lights fracturing on waves, I felt the twist building. The trial was a circus in the Richard J. Daily Center's shadow, cameras flashing like paparazzi strobes, protesters waving, justice for O'Malley's, signs that reeked of astroturfed outrage. 3 months post-raid, and Chicago's underbelly had flipped. Dad's partners ratting like rats. Emily's immunity deal hanging by a thread after she recalled more emails. I testified second day, perched in the box like a reluctant oracle. My thrift will suit itching under fluorescence. MS. O'Malley, the prosecutor, sharp-suited Latina named Reyes, probed. You took the fall for the 2008 crash. Why? Voice steady. Amplified. Because they said it was family. But it was fear. Of losing what little I had. Jury, blue-collar mix. A welder nodding, leaned in. Chad watched from the gallery. Hand on his lawyer's knee.
No, mine.
Squeezed remotely via text. Proud. Cross-exam was brutal. Defense painting me as vengeful harpy. Jilted sister sabotaging wedding bliss. Emily's lawyer. Slick as a used car salesman. Waved printouts. My Reddit drafts. The Insta post. This is obsession. Not truth. Obsession. The word stung. Echoing nights I'd stalked her feeds. Envying the filters. But I met his gaze. It's survival. Verdict came swift. Dad. 8 years white collar at Terre Haute, Emily. 2 with probation. Community service at a women's shelter. Poetic. If cruel. Mom walked with fines. Her charity facade cracked. As cuffs clicked on Emily, her eyes met mine across the courtroom. Not hate, but hollow. You won, she mouthed. Did I?
Outside.
Reporters swarmed. I ducked into Chad's waiting Escalade. Rain sheeting windshields. Free, I whispered, head on his shoulder. But freedom tasted like ash, family in fragments, secrets exhumed like corpses. The twist hit that night. Over takeout sushi in our Lakeview brownstone, Chad's compromise on my no penthouses rule. A knock at 9 p.m. Unmarked envelope. No stamp. Inside. Photocopies. Yellowed. Hargrove's autopsy, official cause. Cardiac. But note scribbled. Anomalous toxin trace. Unidentified. Attached. A letter. Typed anonymous. The swap wasn't wishful thinking. It was engineered. Ruiz at Argonne? On payroll. Whitaker Capital funded the trial to bury the O'Malley probe. Chad knew. Used you. Heart stopped.
Chad.
In the kitchen chopping ginger. Froze as I stormed in. Papers fanned. What the fuck is this? He scanned, face draining. Lucy.
It's
Ruiz.
the lab.
You set it up. Words tumbled. Rage volcanic. To discredit me? Make the family look crazy. No, God. No. He dropped the knife. Hands up. Dad's firm, Whitaker, partnered with O'Malley years back. Crash overlapped a deal. When you leaked, it threatened exposure. Harlan suggested the ECHO protocol, quantum cover. Make you doubt your sanity. But the swap happened.
Real.
I fell for you in it.
Fell.
Past tense? You played me. The wires. The protection bait. He stepped closer. Desperate. At first.
Yeah.
Damage control.
But you.
You're real. Not her. I love.
Don't.
I backed away. World tilting. Betrayal reversed. Not just family, but him, the one anchor. The powerful antagonist?
Chad.
All along. Mumming concern while puppeteering. I fled to the bedroom, locking the door. Phone in hand. Dialed Emily. Collect from her halfway house. It's worse. I gasped when she picked up. Chad orchestrated the swap tech to silence us.
Pause.
Then her laugh, bitter, broken. Knew it. His first look whisper? Play along. I thought it was you gaslighting.
We.
Pawns in Whitaker's game. What now? Fight back. Together. Sisters. Reforged in fire. Dawn found me packing, duffel with essentials. Laptop humming with hacks. Whitaker financials. Leaked via dark web drops. Chad banged on the door. Lucy. Please. We can fix. Door flew open.
Me.
5-4 Fury. Fix? Like you fixed the truth. I shoved past. Duffel slung. Uber waiting. Emily met me at a dive in Wicker Park, neon open, flickering. Booths sticky with beer. She slid in opposite. Probation anklet glinting. Plan. Full exposure. Every email. Every wire. No immunity this time. She nodded.
Fierce.
And the swap? Tell it straight.
Ma quem believe. We did.
Joint interview with Lopez. Then a book, Entangled Lies, the swap that shattered empires. Went viral, podcasts, Netflix pitch. Chad's firm crumbled under SEC probes. He vanished to Dubai. Whispers of indictments trailing. Ending? No tidy bow. Emily and I rebuilt cautious.
Scarred.
She started a non-profit for fraud victims. I designed its logo.
Free.
Family? Mom visited once. Tearful. Dad wrote from prison. Proud. In a way. Debated truths. Was Chad's love real? Twisted? Did our revenge redeem or ruin?
Me?
I stare at mirrors now. Wary. But stronger. In America, where dreams swap bodies overnight, revenge isn't closure, it's the spark that lights your own damn way. As for that $10,000 venue, foreclosed, turned co-working space. I host writing workshops there now, teaching hooks that shock. Like this one, sometimes the monster in the mirror is the one who saves you.